I mean, that's all I can say. I mean, this is on the heels of 162. The last time we played these guys, we had an 8-7 dramatic, one of the greatest games ever in the Rays history. And then we do this with Carlito, who I think got the biggest applause at the beginning of this when they introduced the player. So it's so sweet for this guy to get this welcome home and do something for his team.
Eighth inning, some interesting decisions for Joe Maddon. He pinch hits a rookie, Stephen Vogt. He bunts with 2 strikes with Jose Molina. Joe Maddon addressed the media, obviously talking about the Rays' first baseman welcome home party.
That was part of what I've been talking about the last couple of days. I really think that he's got his batting stance in order. I thought he's looked good even though he's not been getting base hits. But how about the difference between a spring training game and a regular season game? Was it that obvious tonight? I mean, from the very first inning, that thing felt like you're in the middle of the season, you're heading into October. That's a tribute to both teams, I think, the fact that they played it the way they did and the way our guys responded. We get on top, they come back. What a beautiful first game. Of course, I'm happier because we won. I'm not disputing that. But nevertheless, I just really appreciated that game of baseball tonight played by both sides.
And moving Carlos in the lineup. We saw.
You know, it's just one of those things. It's a fortuitous moment. He had nothing to do with him hitting a grand slam or hitting the ball into the left center field gap like he did. Like I said, I just think he's been looking better. He's been looking better. He made some adjustments more recently that I like, and I think because of that, you're going to see him be a more consistent ball striker this year.
Joe, do you recall a game in this building that was just a ho-hum game? When's the last time you guys just played an ordinary game?
We don't do that anymore. No, I mean, I was looking at our record at the Trop since 2008. It's pretty impressive. I didn't even realize it was that lopsided in our favor. But we do. We normally do play well here. But again, I really appreciate the support tonight. I thought our fans were really into the Rays tonight a lot. And we responded well. I thought our guys, like I said, I thought we were ready to play. I felt that a couple days ago when we played that Futures game. I thought our guys had a good look about them. And when you walked in here today and you walked around the clubhouse, I knew they were ready to play. So we responded well.
James Shields, a tough workload of 104 pitches through 5 innings. Not as sharp as what did you see from him?
Yeah, just like you're saying, not as sharp. Maybe a lot of off-speed stuff. They were working good at bats. The Yankees are pretty good hitters. I mean, although you look at it last year, him versus Sabathia was a lot of 1-0 stuff, 2-1 stuff. It had to catch up at some point, I guess, because we got to Sabathia also a little bit, which is unusual. 2 very, very good all-star quality pitchers, actually Cy Young voting recipient kind of pitchers that had a tough first game, but we came out on top, and that's pretty cool.
Was danger averted there with guy on third, runner running?
That's you know, we do work on a lot of different things. We don't work on that particular play. That's just that falls under the category of missed signs. We'll get that straightened out, I promise.
Are you concerned with the runner on third with no outs and not getting him in? It happened twice in this game.
No, not at all. Again, you have to give the other side credit. We've done it to the other side also. I'm always about intent. You're not always going to get the job done. If that were the case, and I've been trying to convince our guys, perfection is a very boring concept. It's not going to happen. And if you were perfect, this game would be very unappealing. So I don't want them to worry about that. Just it's about the intent, trying to do the right things, having the right mindset. The more difficult part about this game to teach on an nightly basis is just the mind. The physical part is very easy. So trust me, believe me, our guys are really trying to get the right thing done there.
How far does starting the season with the win go? I mean, if people think back to last season, the beginning,
it goes as far as tomorrow. You know, we're playing a really good Yankee team for the first 3 games here. Really interesting first game of the season, to say the least. Of course, it's better to win it than to lose it, but when you're playing these guys, this whole first month of our schedule is going to be very difficult regardless. So it's just nice to move on into tomorrow's game with the victory tonight, or today, this afternoon.
We can't leave Longoria out. A nice offensive performance from him. What do you like about the adjustments he's made with his swing, and what do you see from him tonight?
He's just, you know, he's growing up. He's maturing as a hitter. He has a better understanding of what's going on in the game and what he can and cannot do. He has a better understanding of the other side. That's what you think he can look like on a more consistent basis. So, you know, congratulations to him. I mean, he really has worked hard to get to this point, and that's just one night, but I have a lot of faith that he's going to continue to ascend in this game.
It did not appear that Shields and Molina were quite on the same page. Anything need to be said there other than more work together at some time?
You know, it's just a situation where they have to play together more often. It's all it is. I have a lot of faith in both of those guys. Actually, a ton of faith. Shieldsy is healthy. He's well. It was just one of those nights that there was some awkward plays there in the beginning too, like when Carlos had to go to his right and chose to go to the plate. That was an awkward play. They did hit some balls really well, no question. Ibanez's home run is properly struck. Rodriguez had some good at bats, but overall, I really there's nothing wrong with James. James is going to pitch really well this year, and he's going to be caught well by J-Mo.
Joe Madden with his thoughts after this game, and he was the guy who had to tell Carlos Pena back in 2012 or 2007, Carlos, you didn't make the team out of spring training, and Carlos's reaction was, I don't believe you. I've never heard a player say that. And sure enough, Greg Norton gets hurt, Carlos Pena makes the team, and the rest is...
That's classic.
There's something mystical about Carlos Pena and the Rays.
Yes, it really is.
Career was turned around here, and again today, game number 1, what a homecoming.
And I think Joe has a lot to do with that, with the mindset and trying to help him. And here it is, right here in the first inning, his first at-bat. There's the Big Jack grand slam against CC Sabathia after a tough at-bat where he battled him to a full count, worked the count to his advantage to get a high fastball. In the 8th inning, there was also a very interesting at-bat. Runner at first, it looks to me almost like they might have put a hit and run right there. And what that does is get him to just put the ball in play. He had just struck it out a couple of times before, put the ball in play. That's what he does right there. Plays Pepper with the wall, plays Pepper with a very nasty cut fastball on the outside. If you're looking to drop and drive there, you can't do anything with that nasty cutter. So, listen, welcome back, Carlito Pena, to the Rays.
Yeah, you made a good point there. That was a nasty cutter.
Yes.
It was off the plate. It was the classic Rivera pitch, and he ends up hitting it to the wall. That's not something you seek normally from Carlos Pena against Rivera.
And what about the uncanniness of us and the Yankees lately? Zobrist, like you were telling me, he's what, 3 for 3? And they're all like doubles and triples.
Triple, yeah.
Triple, and then Carlos, who had never gotten a hit against this kid, against this monster and Mo, gets the game-winning hit.
603 saves, did not get a 604th today. Evan Longoria, what a game he had to start things off. In the field, not his best game, but at the plate, he was on base every time.
He really was. And I talked to Evan yesterday about spring and how he felt. And he goes, you know what, I didn't feel comfortable early in the spring. He goes, but the last week I felt really, really good. I'm seeing the ball. I'm on top of the